JNT UK, lecture number 35, unit number 4, multiple accessing technique, FDMA, Department of ECH, April Engineering College. Welcome to today online session. So in this multiple accessing technique, direct sequence code division multiple access. So the principle of this DSC DMA, nothing but all individual signals are recognized by the receiver by correlation method with a specific CDMA code that is used to generate the particular signal. Suppose our total bandwidth, suppose we have total bandwidth of some x megahertz. So that x megahertz individually divided into all available stations. For example, we have 10 receiver stations. So the 10 receiver stations share this frequency by station number 1, station number 2, or signal number 1, signal number 2, signal number 3, etc. Clear? So why? Because that is the basic principle. Nothing but by using this multiple access, generally these multiple access used for the satellite communication. Why? Because generally the satellite communication launched in 1960. So at those 1960 period, most of traffic carried out by satellite, and monitoring of the satellite communication tasks that should be done by only by telegraphic channels. Why? Because in 1960, not good enough in telephonic or like mobile phones. And those days, all signals were analog, and analog multiplexing was used at earth station to combine large number of telephone channels into a single baseband signal, and that could be modulated onto RF carrier. So with the dusk, individual telephone channels can be shifted in frequency from baseband to higher frequency. So they can kept this stack all this type of grouping the channels one on another, simply called as frequency division multiplexing, FDM. So by using this FDM, so we have here various demanding principles automatically generated in the particular time slots. So therefore individual channels, they can shifted in the frequency from the baseband to higher frequency, so that they can able to stack one on another, simply called group of channels. So the entire process now here in our multiple access we called as FDMA. So frequency division multiple access. So the main advantage behind this FDMA scheme, filters can be used to separate the signals. So why? Because some noisy components are available in the particular channel, and the process begins by limiting individual channels to the frequency range with hedges or kilohertz. Nothing but depend upon the availability of the spectrum. Suppose if the spectrum has X megahertz, Suppose that X megahertz shared to 5 members. So therefore X megahertz divided by 5. So we can get some channel 1 kilohertz, channel 2 kilohertz, channel 3 kilohertz, channel 4 kilohertz, channel 5 kilohertz. So by using this phenomena, by using FDMA, so transmitting earth stations, how many transmitting earth station? So in this example, we have 1, 2, 3. So all these 3 earth stations are configured. All these 3 earth stations are configured in the particular FDMA. So therefore, by using this FDMA, different carrier frequencies, they should allotted to a single transponder. And similarly, all earth stations within this satellite, they can receive the signals to downlink frequencies. Suppose all these downlink frequencies we can call F1 and F2, F3. So all these frequencies are limited or bounded by some band pass filter. Simply, they are allowable to a limited bandwidth, that is simply called band pass filter. So in a fixed assignment system, each transmitting earth station, they are allotted this frequency. So now this frequency in terms called as bandwidth of each group of the signals that we want to make them in prior case. Clear? So that's why, suppose if you are taking the analog FDM technique, so by basic this analog FDM, so early satellite systems, they can able to use multiple telephone channels on a wide baseband. So therefore the occupancy of these wide channels, they can use the RF carrier frequency. Therefore by using the frequency modulation principle, so these FDM techniques are depending upon the transmission of the satellite analog signals in present scenario. And one of the main advantage for this type of FDMA, nothing but this FDMA technique use the filters for each group, or these FDMA technique are used the filters that can be used to separate all these signals. So therefore filter technology was well understood by the help of this satellite launching earth stations, and all these filters are used at earth station to separate the FDMA signals within the given transponder. So in the previous slide, so in this slide, the individual carrier stations, whatever F1 and F2, F3, so these frequencies are called as downlink. So when these downlink frequencies are used the microwave filter, these microwave filters are used to separate these F1 and F2, F3 coming from the transponder output pin at receiving earth station RX1, RX2, RX3, RX4, etc. Nothing but the key feature for this type of FDMA is changing the frequency assignment or bandwidth of any one transmitting earth station that they can require to return this type of filters at several receiving earth stations cumulatively or combined, we have to extract these F1 and F2, F3 with the fixed assignment. So the frequencies and the satellite, they can use these satellite frequencies. So therefore assignment can be taken on this F1 and F2, F3, so on. So therefore good frequency uh, assignment can be done on this F1 and F2, F3 such that demand assignment and a single channel per carrier techniques are very good understanding and very good utility for this type of FDMA principle. So demand assignment is nothing but the frequency, the channel, which channel wants to prioritize it. That should be called here demand assignment. And similarly, single channel per carrier. So SCPC is very beautiful technique for upcoming 4G and existing 4G and 5G communication. This single channel per carrier is well suited for the majority of the FDMA stations for our simplicity. So in this slide, somewhat of total transponder bandwidth chosen here. Suppose if you are having one transponder, so for that one transponder, we have bandwidth of 36 megahertz. So how to share this 36 megahertz for various stations? So the station centralized for 3714 center frequency. So therefore, the bandwidth occupied by the signals not be available in the power spectral density. Therefore, bandwidth and the locations within the triangles related to the transmitting earth stations. Therefore, all frequencies are for this downlink transmission from the existing transponders. So from this figure, each earth stations that operate FDMA network must have to separate the IF receiver for each of the carrier that we want to wish or we want to receive the signal from the existing communication medium. And another significance point here we have to monitor single channel per carrier. They can use very large number of carriers in one transponder that will as a result. So FDMA earth stations tend to have large number of IF receivers and demultiplexers which selects the individual carriers. They can use the narrow band IF filters. So this figure indicates, suppose each channel bandwidth that we have assigned them approximately with the center frequency of 3726 for transponder 1 and 3759 for transponder 2. So each bandwidth of 50 to 60 megahertz for KU band transponder. Similarly, the God space required between one band to another band. Why? Because God bands are essential for FDMA system to allow the filters in the receivers to select the individual channels without excessive interference from the adjacent channels. So dear listeners, from this figure, all filters have roll of characteristics. So they can able to describe rapidly with this possible picture. Therefore, here we have identified zero attenuation from the individual baseband systems. So that's why in this picture, so each of the signals, they have bandwidth of 10 megahertz. So uplink signals from two earth stations that are transmitted on this carrier frequency approximately 5939, one is 5939 and 5951 megahertz. Therefore, uplink signal from the earth station that are having carrier frequency of 5963 megahertz. So similar topologies are required for the FDMA. So this slide indicates FDMA receiver, how to understand the FDMA receiver concept in the multiple access technique. So on this picture, total frequency in megahertz approximately 97 megahertz from 943 to 97. So they allotted 54 megahertz IF bandwidth. So every earth station that operate in FDMA network must have separate IF receiver for each of the carriers that we have to wish to receive. So each allotted spectrum. So each allotted spectrum, they have individual this carrier frequency. Therefore, each channel, they have individual frequency allocation that indicated on this picture. Suppose channel 1 has 1.94 megahertz, and similarly each channels they have partitioned. So by using this schematic, approximately 25 number of channels in a particular receiver with a center frequency of 70 megahertz. So therefore they occupied bandwidth of each signal approximately 1.94 megahertz. So therefore channels are spaced by guard-band of 200 kilohertz, which is very small in range. Nothing but single channel per carrier. SCPC system, they can have very large number of carriers in one transponder. So therefore, as a result, FDMA each earth stations, they have to very large number of IF receivers and demultiplexers with the selecting of individual carriers that are using the narrow band IF filters. Clear? So by using this narrow band schematic, the FDM automatically use telephone transmission technique that well suited to analog telephone signals. So telephony signals larger become digital and frequency division multiplexing has been replaced by TDM. So digital speech is now throughout the telephone system. So multiple telephone channels are always transmitted high-speed digital signals. So the significance of this FDMA is the FDMA is widely used as a method of sharing the bandwidth of satellite transponders. The satellite would carry a very large number of transponders. So each of they can allotted to a single RF carrier. So in the case of telephonic signals, each transponders, they have bandwidth exactly matched to this RF spectrum, and the corresponding thousands of transponders would be needed, and satellite could be used only for the telephone. And dear listeners, this FDMA has somewhat of disadvantage. So satellite communication system, when the satellite transponders has a non-linear characteristics. So why? Because most of satellite transponders use high power amplifiers which are driven close to the saturation. This effect causing the non-linear operation. Why? Because transponders using traveling wave tube amplifiers in more non-linearity than one with the solid state high power amplifiers. So with this significance, non-linearity of transponders causes reduction in overall carrier to noise ratio at the receiving earth station when FDMA is used because of intermodulation products are generated in the transponders. So some of the intermodulation products within the transponder bandwidth, they will cause the interference, and IM products that are treated with this, for example, noise. So thermal noise is also be incorporated with this signals. Therefore, by adding the total noise in the receiver, so corresponding receiving in the earth station. Therefore, by using the intermodulation, so we are using the intermodulation. So here we have to implement the majority of the things one on another. So one moment, to implement this FDMA more effectively in syllabus, they introduced intermodulation concept. So by using intermodulation products generated whenever more than one signal is carried by non-linear device. So sometimes filtering can be used to remove the IM products, but if they are in the bandwidth of transponder, so they cannot be filtered out. So therefore, the saturation characteristics of the transponders that can be modeled by the generating the third order intermodulation. So therefore, third order third order IM. So generally the third order IM important because third order IM products often have frequency closer to the signals that can generate the intermodulation products. Now we can establish how this intermodulation can be done by using the FDMA concept one on another. Suppose, can anybody say if the nonlinear characteristics of the transponder with a cubic voltage relationship and apply the two unmodulated carriers at the frequency F1 and F2. So can anybody say, so what is the corresponding equation? How we can build the equation? So V out, so what is the V out equals to, what is the first modulating product? That equals to A V in. Clear? So this is the first term plus what is the second term? B V in cubed root. So generally the magnitude of small b always smaller than capital E. Why? Because b linked with cubed root of cubed power of input voltage. So from this example, what is the amplifier input signal? So for that amplification, so we have V1, so V1 cos, so V1 cos omega 1t plus V2 cos omega 2t. Clear? So now this is the actual input signal. So what is the amplifier output signal? The amplifier output signal can be represented by just by placing this equation in above equation V in place. So V out equals to A multiplied by this equation plus B multiplied by this equation power 3. So first one indicates the linear term, whereas second one indicates the cubic term. So by solving this equation and send this equation to the band pass filter, so we can get the intermediate products, which is very the greater non-linearity of the amplifier. So the larger intermediate products we have to achieve in this concept. So by the next session, we will able to. So thank you, listeners, for your active participation for this online session. Please subscribe college YouTube channel. Give your valuable likes on this video. Thank you, one and all.